Her message came at 2:14 a.m. I changed all the locks. You don't have a home anymore. Let's see how brave you are. Now, that, the irony of her calling me that pet name she'd used only when she needed something wasn't lost on me. The CO mask had finally fused with her skin. No warmth left, just control. Stared at the text for a long time. The phone screen washing my face in cold blue light. I didn't reply. I didn't call. I didn't even blink. She wanted a reaction. That was her first mistake. 2 days later, her lawyer emailed. We have problem. Call immediately. That was when I knew my silence had unnerved her. But the truth, the problem had started months ago. She just didn't know it was hers. We met 7 years back. She was the firebrand executive everyone feared. And I was the quiet systems architect hired to keep her new empire running. She said she liked that I never flinched in her presence. I thought she mistook indifference for confidence. She once told me, "You see everything, don't you?" I did, especially the way she measured people, their weaknesses, their limits, their usefulness. I should have known then that I was being measured, too. Back then, I loved her ferocity, her hunger, the way she'd whisper company strategy in bed like it was pillow talk. "We'll be unstoppable," she said once, her head on my chest. "You and me against everyone." She meant it until she didn't. The betrayal began subtly. Late night conferences, private calls. That ended when I entered the room. Second phone she swore was for work. Then the accountant called. "Wrong number," he said. Flustered. Asked about a joint transfer authorization for executive asset relocation. My name on it, my signature forged. That's when I started watching her. She didn't know I'd built the company's security infrastructure, that I had admin access to every encrypted server, every signed document, every hidden account. She forgot the one thing she once admired about me. I never missed details. By the time I confirmed her affair with her business partner, the same man who used to toast to family loyalty over our dinners, I'd already duplicated every file, every transaction, every text. The betrayal didn't break me, clarified me. I didn't confront her. That would have given her ground to play the victim. Instead, I became what she accused me of being: quiet, detached, calculating. I let her believe she was winning. I smiled when she came home late. I nodded when she said, "Maybe some space would be good for us." She began transferring joint assets into corporate holdings. She was cleaning me. I let her. I even helped her optimize the process, tightening the rope around her own neck. Meanwhile, I set up silent alarms, digital and legal, on every move she made. I rerouted company communications, backed up key data, and quietly reassigned intellectual property rights to a dormant entity under my name. One she'd signed off on years ago without reading. When the time came, I filed my own transfer. Everything she thought she'd taken reverted. The patents, the code base, the silent partners, all under me. She'd built her empire on my foundation. I just took it back. The night she locked me out, I watched from the street as the lights in our penthouse flickered behind frosted glass. She thought she'd exiled me. In truth, she just locked herself inside the crime scene. She changed the locks, but the system she used to manage her smart security, mine. I watched the camera feed as she strutted through the living room, glass of wine in hand, rehearsing her victory speech to no one. Her voice floated through the speakers. "Let's see how brave you are now." Smiled because bravery wasn't the game anymore. Patience was. 2 days later, the email came. Subject: urgent. Body: we have a problem. Call immediately. By Then she discovered the accounts were frozen. The board had suspended her. Her business partner had vanished. His shares legally transferred through a mutual dissolution agreement she'd apparently signed electronically. All perfectly legal. All time to trigger upon her breach of contract. The breach she created when she tried to dissolve my partnership behind my back. When she finally called, her voice cracked between fury and disbelief. What did you do? And I just finished what you started, I said calmly. You wanted everything under your name, so I gave you that, including liability. She went silent. I could hear the air shift, the sound of realization crawling up her throat. You can't do this to me, she whispered. I didn't, I said. You did. The lawyers called me in the next day. Her empire was collapsing from within. Investigations, freezes, board votes. Every string she'd pulled was now tightening. They asked me what I wanted from the settlement. Nothing, I said. Just peace. They didn't understand. Revenge wasn't about taking back what she stole. It was about letting her live in the ruins she built, knowing I walked away clean. I never saw her again, but sometimes late at night I imagine her in that penthouse, lights off, walls echoing with the sound of silence she used to weaponize, and I think about the message she sent. Let's see how brave you are now. I was brave enough to stay quiet, brave enough to let her hang herself with her own ambition, brave enough to leave before the ashes settled. Justice doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers, and when it does, it sounds exactly like the click of a lock closing on the wrong.